Welcome back to Comtrack. That was really lackluster. Get off my show. That's significantly better. So we're back, and we're with a very great Tim Burton comedy classic. This is Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Do I dare say it a third time? And here on the for the very first appearance on this show, Mandy McClain.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mandy McClain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely your original accent.
It is.
You do seem Irish, don't you?
Sometimes. See, this is not Irish.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
But what is this though?
You know.
Hold on, like I can kind of do an Irish accent because I did spend a little bit of time in Ireland, and I've got a friend who's from Ireland. So hold on. Oh, hello, Tim. How are you?
Wow, that's
you're a little bit of a gobshite, you are.
That's not bad. That is not bad at all.
I learned lots of dirty words over in Ireland.
They have some of
They do.
They really do. But the thing about Beetlejuice is, I actually brought you on because I believe we last guest starred on Bunny in the Box.
Bunny in the Box.
Yes, the great Nicolas Cage podcast.
Rowan.
Yeah, well, I'll be putting a link for that in the description later on. You can check the Facebook page too. But yeah, I was mentioning that I was doing Beetlejuice, and you're like, "That's one of my favorite movies."
It is one of my favorite movies.
Okay, so do tell me about your history with Beetlejuice. I want to know all about it.
Oh my gosh! So, if I'm not mistaken, I actually saw it in the theater first run. You probably weren't even born when it came out. So,
nope.
I'm pretty sure I probably saw it with my mom if I went to see it with anybody. But it's just amazing, and it's funny that. Like, seeing it as a child, and then watching it older, you get more of, like, the dirty jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when Beetlejuice, well, we'll come to that when it, comes up in the film, but, like, well, I'll just say the whorehouse scene and all of that.
Or when he says, "Nice fucking model," and you're like,
yeah.
Dude, this...
He said the F word. My ear hurts.
See, this was made in the era where PG meant something.
Yeah. And when she called him a little prick and stuff like that. So...
Apparently, this movie was a lot darker than what it was originally intended to be.
Well, I think Michael Keaton brought a lot of that to... Well, we'll talk about more of that when we get...
True. I can't really remember the first time I saw this one in particular. But I do know I've seen like a lot of images when I was a kid, namely, Beetlejuice coming out, and I think the thing that really like haunted me for years, because as a small child, I was traumatized forever by the image of Adam and Barbara just deteriorating away in their wedding outfits.
It was sad. It was really sad too. Like.
True, but it was the makeup that I'm just like, this is too scary. I'm out of here.
Right,
Because as a kid, I was just a pathetic wimp when it came to horror.
And the thing, too, is, like, we know that Tim Burton, I mean, especially, like, back in the day, he liked to use a lot of stop motion animation stuff. And at the time, you don't really notice it, but then when you're older, you see, like, the sandworm, I'm sure, is stop motion.
Yeah.
And then when the art pieces come to life and stuff like that, you notice it more when you're older than when you are a child.
Yeah, especially when you really get to know how, like, the sausage is made and that sort of thing. All the
sausage.
All the tips and tricks of making movies and whatnot. So yeah, you're right. Of course, he made those specifically bad.
And a lot of model stuff. The whole town.
Yeah.
When it shows it's a model, but then you see that Adam's actually working on the model too.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But anyway.
It's fun, isn't it? Maybe we should just like jump right in, because this is a really wild and fun ride. So folks back home, if you got your copy of Beetlejuice, you got it on streaming, Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, whatever. You better crank it out right now, because
Laserdisc.
Yeah. You are old.
Actually, I never owned a Laserdisc.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a Laserdisc player.
I didn't either. It was VHS, and then I think circa 2003 we got our first DVD player, and then after that it's just all digital for me, because Who needs those discs going bad anyway, right?
Right.
But
You
anyway,
can make coasters with them.
exactly. I think Deadpool even mentioned that. It's like those are just useless drink coasters at this point.
Right.
Sort of like the floppy disks.
Right.
Yeah, that's another old one. But anyway, if you guys got a copy of Beetlejuice back home, get ready to play it because we are hitting play in 3, 2, 1, hit. And then, of course, it just immediately begins with the sounds or the echoes of Harry Belafonte. Belafonte, yes.
Harry Belafonte.
That's such a weird choice for music in retrospect.
It is, but it really fits with the movie. And now, like, I couldn't see it any other way.
Oh, you're right.
But it's it's Tim Burton. It's weird.
Yeah, he makes it a weird, goofy art movie.
But my favorite Tim Burton movie is Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Which he did right before this.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure, I do believe that Michael Keaton actually totally did not want to do this. But after he met Tim Burton and saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he's like, okay, I'm on board.
Yep.
And now to this day, this is actually his favorite performance of his.
Really?
Yes.
I can believe that, though, because, like, it's almost like he does such a good job as Beetlejuice, I forget who's playing Beetlejuice. It's like Beetlejuice is like a person. I mean, I know.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know what I mean? Like, he becomes his own thing.
Yeah, no kidding. Also, what I really love about the opening is the music by Danny Elfman, the march. We don't have marches anymore. We just have the weird trailer music where it's just blah, blah, blah.
So Mr. Elfman. so I don't know. This is some old people stuff. Do you know his real background? His band?
Yeah, I do.
Oingo Boingo?
Yep.
Okay.
He did. He was a lot of in the musician era. There he is, Danny Elfman. But also because of his like rock and roll music background, he actually is now mostly deaf. And
really? I didn't know about all that.
Yeah. I think by the mid-90s, he was almost completely deaf, and to this day has to require hearing aids.
I didn't know that. That's sad.
Mm-hmm. But hey, well, I mean, he still makes great music.
And
I mean,
he's made a zillion, trillion, zillion dollars.
Yeah.
Plus 2.
Oh, the script. So Michael McDowell, he's the one who made the story. He originally envisioned this movie to be a lot darker, and Beetlejuice, like his true form, like obviously he's a shapeshifter.
Oh.
Well, he was like a shapeshifter, but his true form was like a short Middle Eastern man kind of thing, which was crazy and weird. And I do love this, the tarantula.
That would make me like boo.
Well, it's like the movie. What's the movie? I think it was called It back in the day. No, like or them or arachnid. I forget what it is.
Arachnophobia?
Possibly the one from the 50s where the giant spiders
even
were
older. I don't know.
Yeah, like but no, I'm pretty sure he's calling back to that specific era of like the the old B movies that used tarantulas as giant spiders.
Yeah, and then they would shoot it in a way. It looks like the spider is humongous.
But yeah, they really get their money's worth with that model later on, don't they?
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it looks great. I wonder where that model went.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like
Tim Burton probably has it somewhere in his house,
or just like in storage somewhere or
Maybe.
wherever. It'd be really cool to like
even just to get one of the trees or something from it, just to have.
Yeah, right. Or better yet, like the little gravestone that says Beetlejuice.
That would be awesome.
Now that would be a lovely little treasure to have. So we're introduced to our first glimpse of the couple, and these two are cute. I like these two.
It's like they are like the perfect couple. They like each other. They seem like they're also BFF.
Yep. Their chemistry's just adorable.
Yes.
And
Eric Bauer is not as sexy as he normally is in the movies in the 80s.
Yeah, it's weird. They actually do kind of downplay his sex appeal.
Yeah, they do.
They give him like this big bulky plaid shirt that you can't quite see his figure as well.
Kind of like a farmer or something.
Yep, and they give him these huge glasses. I guess that's something that Tim Burton has a habit of doing. He gives his male leads these giant glasses to make them unattractive or
not as appealing.
Unconventional.
Yes. Well, and I think too, I think that's one of the reasons why Johnny Depp likes working so much with Tim Burton, because Johnny Depp, I mean, you could cook an egg on him, right?
Yeah.
And
he constantly makes him look stupid.
And I think Johnny Depp likes that, though. I think he
Yeah.
likes looking weird and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Of course, and remember, he also put glasses on Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now I'm thinking that might be a little Tim Burton thing, like give the man some glasses to make him less appealing and more intelligent.
Right. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Tim Burton's a weird, kooky guy in real life.
And it's almost like I almost feel like he has like an obsession with Johnny Depp, in a sense. Like, if you'll notice, Edward Scissorhands looks like Tim Burton.
Yeah.
So it's like he's taking this sexy man like Johnny Depp.
Yep.
And twisted him into him.
It's
kind of like
a Frankenstein version of him.
It is.
It really is.
Kind of weird, but I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, to be at least, I mean, as weird as Tim Burton is, and as meh some of his later films have become, give it up to his creativity.
Absolutely.
I do love the wide shot of the house. It actually does remind me a lot of Grant Wood's American Gothic. Just the just like the shape of the perfect shape of the house, the beautiful clear blue skies, the green pastures, and the scenic town below in the valley. Like it really feels like Grant Wood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really took the Gothic part and put that into his movie, you know.
Yeah, he does that
a lot. Oh, and this is a really. So, like, you saw this when the theater came out.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the theater, but I've seen it a zillion times for real.
Because I do know there's like a really great gag with this is they purposely chose a Volvo for them to die in.
Because it's almost impossible to die in a Volvo.
Exactly.
Right?
That was the whole joke. Is that you can't die in this thing, and they totally make it.
Do.
It's great, and I also really love like the ugly yellow that they choose for it.
Yeah.
Again, it feels
it sticks out like a sore thumb too.
Yes.
I mean, it's obviously on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a.
I forgot just the Americana. Classic Norman Rockwell kind of look to the town.
And lots of uses of red.
Yes.
Red.
Yes.
Even Adam's shirt, his undershirt's red, I think.
I believe so. I do know that they got the pattern shirt, so it kind of plays in with his dynamic with Beetlejuice, because he wears black and white stripes. Mm-hmm. So the plaid tends to clash with that.
Right.
So you can actually see them. No, not the doggy. And they're dead. Not quite.
Yet.
That's right. I swear this is like
that dog holds their fate in his paws.
You almost hit me, you little bastards.
Ow,
bye.
Boom. Now, honestly, well, I guess they couldn't get out. I guess maybe.
Actually, there was a thing with that from MythBusters. Adam Savage actually tested whether or not you could get out of it. If the car's flipped over, you have a significantly less chance of getting out. Like, I believe...
Is it because of the air pressure or something? Like...
Well, it's also because you're upside down, things are 10 times more disorienting, and therefore you have a hard time trying to get out. So I think you have like an 11% chance when it's tipped over, and like a 55% chance if it's right side up.
Well, you know what's funny? I was with my niece the other day, and we were going to a concert, and we were going over the bridge into Kentucky, and she rolled the window down, and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, Mom always rolls the window down when we go over a bridge. She goes, that way in case we go into the water, we can get out. And I was like, I never thought of that, but okay.
I mean, you can always have those little those glass hammers that they keep it.
Right.
Yeah, those save so many.
Or I could just ninja kick the window out. I mean.
No.
Damn it.
I mean, that's safety glass. That's meant to, like, withstand a baseball bat.
Well, you don't know what kind of ninja feet I have.
That's okay. Okay. Oh shit, Shai Hulud. Shai Hulud cameo from Dune. Actually, oh wait, was David Lynch's Dune before this?
Probably.
I
Most likely. Yeah, definitely most.
It totally has a cameo. That's great. Oh, I love this.
That's sad. Maybe they're vampires.
They can check their mouths.
Blah, blah.
Oh, of course, the handbook.
He
love
says
this.
he says diseased.
Disease.
And she's like, it's deceased.
Come on. I guess he's not a big reader.
He's like, I'm attractive and I make model houses, so I don't need to read.
And I love listening to tropical music from
Right,
the 50s.
Right.
It's such a again, I don't understand why that works, but it just
works in here.
It just does.
Probably something Tim Burton had been listening to or something. Maybe gave him inspiration and he just put it in the film.
I guess, but honestly, although I think that's the whole because of that music, that's the whole reason why the sequel was supposed to be Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, are you kidding me, dude? Like,
did you see Beetlejuice on the beach? Like, whoa!
Well, that's what they want. Like, I think they were actually just about to do it. And do you know who was actually approached to write the script?
Who?
Kevin Smith.
Oh, that would have been good, I think.
Well, see, he was approached with 3 different projects in, like, the mid-90s. One was Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, to which he was like, seriously? Like, didn't we say everything we needed to with the first Beetlejuice?
Right.
Must we go tropical?
Right.
The second one was based off an old, I believe it was a Twilight Zone episode based off the Architects of Fear. And then the second one, and the third one, which is the one he really wanted to do, was the script for Superman Lives, which was supposed to star Nick Cage and be directed by Tim Burton. And that's a great story in and of itself. Give that shit a Google, guys.
And he would have been like, Rowan.
Check it out, though. There's actually a whole documentary about what happened with it. It's literally called Superman Lives, What Happened. It's a great little documentary where
I should check that out.
Absolutely. All
the listeners should check it out as well.
Absolutely. Oh, I really love how their lives are played out in this model village.
And what's weird is, like, I don't know if it showed they were looking at the newspaper, but I don't know how long they've been dead at this point, because they don't know, because time.
Yeah, time moves weird when you're dead and in the afterlife. But and I like, maybe this is heaven, and then of course there wouldn't be dust in heaven. Dust is awful, especially in that attic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. But I believe that. This is the point where their house is being looked around by other people.
Okay, but then what's confusing to me is it looks like they're in funeral clothes. So if that's the case, then why would there be dust?
Are they? Maybe.
But do you know what I mean? Like, is that a continuity error? Is that meant to be like that, or were they just dressed like that?
I think. Well, I mean, if you look at the way Winona Ryder dresses throughout this movie,
yeah,
like, is it really that different?
No, it's not. But she is strange and unusual.
Yes, she is.
She does rock, though.
Yes, yeah. And I think this is the movie that really just kind of cemented her reputation. Look at that house.
I'm certain she got Heathers because of this movie.
Oh God, she had to.
Yeah.
Because she was still up and coming. That's great. You know, I believe the effects for this movie was literally like only a very small portion of the full budget, which is kind of impressive because Tim Burton said specifically all the effects have to look really, really cheap and stupid and bad purposefully,
right? To
kind of emulate the look of those old B movies that he grew up watching, and plus it would help the budget and move the movie along forward. So. It's weird that it was so, like, the effects are so cheap, but they still, like,
they work
really well.
I know, they work to me.
And it's also crazy just how well they work.
Right.
You would think they would look a lot, worse for wear, but no, surprisingly, they hold up just fine. And, of course, Catherine O'Hara.
Good old Delia.
Yeah. She actually married the production designer of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, Bo Welsh. And honestly, you probably know Bo Welsh. He's he's a really great production designer. He did Men in Black.
Oh yeah.
He did. Oh God, there's so many that I know I'm blanking here, but he's a laundry list of all your favorite production design movies, with some of the most creativity, I think. Yeah, it's like they were just, in conversation on set, and they started.
He just throws it. He's like, bam. He's like, this is crap. It's
no respect for artists ever. But yeah. Anyway, they were just. I believe it was she and the production designer were just kind of chit chatting on the set of this movie, and like a few months later, they were dating, and they wound up being married, and they're still married to this day.
That's
which is
awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
See, Beetlejuice brought people together.
It really does bring people together. It's adorable, though. I really wish Jeffrey Jones is.
I wish
pervert?
That
happened.
Good old Ed Rooney.
That happened. Oh, God, that's still uncomfortable.
And what's bizarre about it, like when he got in trouble for trying to pick up a 14-year-old boy online or whatever it was. This is a weird, like, Kevin Bacon type, what is it, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, at the time that he got caught, they tried to throw Paul Rubens under the bus, who's also in Tim Burton movies.
Yeah.
But they tried to say that he had, like, kiddie porn or something like that, and what it was I think he, like, bought a storage unit with artwork in it, and there were, like, paintings, like, old paintings with nudes. Like, but it wasn't, like, of just kids. It was just, like, cherubs and, you know what I mean?
Huh.
And, like, when Jeffrey...
So I guess it was, like, a little bit overblown.
It was. He got in no trouble. But they brought it out in the press, of course. You know what I mean? All at the same time that he was getting in his trouble.
Oh, hey, look, another Tim Burton quirk. Spray painting on the wall. He does that again in Batman Returns with Catwoman.
Yes, oh my God.
I actually really love the
push her aside.
I actually do love the comedic timing of that. That's great. It's amazing how good the comedy is in this movie, because I still, like, growing up, this movie was just like, yeah, this is a little bit too intense for me. But now,
are you serious? Like,
no,
you really?
I was bad. Like, I couldn't even watch Jaws on cable. Like,
really?
Yeah, I was bad, man. Like, I'm like, that's too scary. I can't do it. So, but nowadays, like, oh God, there's so much scarier things than stuff like this.
Like the news.
There's so much scarier. So, honestly. This sucks.
She's like, son of a bitch.
I wonder if this is what ghosts do regularly. Just like,
probably.
Honestly, they probably go even crazier than that. Because I mean, if we really can't see them,
God knows what they're doing, teabagging us and everything, all day.
You hope that they're teabagging.
Well, it depends on. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't even matter. At this point, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so you wound up as a ghost, and you're stuck in your own apartment, and you have to be occupied the same space as the residents who take your place.
Damn.
What do?
Teabag them.
That's exactly what you do.
First thing I do. No, I mean, like, if I had to stay in the apartment, damn. That would suck.
Right.
I live in a small apartment.
Yeah. I mean, I've been stuck in my apartment for extended periods, and I get cabin fever really bad.
I get it bad. I talk to my, I have a Yoda hand puppet that I've had since I was 4. His name is Yodi.
Yodi.
Because I didn't know how to say Yoda.
So adorable.
I know. I've got Yodi. I talk to him. I've got my Azrael cat from the Smurfs. He sits beside me sometimes, but... yeah, if I'm in a big, editing crunch,
right.
I'm stuck. I mean, I don't know what I would do stuck in that apartment for all eternity. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
I hope I die out in a big field somewhere where I can roam around like, woo!
like sort of like this guy, just run around literally with no head on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just like, come on. Oh, you know what I could probably do? I could probably just read all their books.
Yeah.
At least for starters.
What if you didn't have the ability to like open up books and stuff? What if you just like existed but you couldn't like? Yeah, that would be terrible.
I mean, I just would pray that they have really good taste in whatever they're watching on TV or movies. Just kick back and watch that all night. Could
you imagine though being a ghost and nobody knows you're in there and the stuff that you see that you shouldn't see?
Yeah, that's the scary part. Oh shit! Shai Halud, Shai Halud, motherfuckers!
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, look at those bad effects! Like you can even see like the green around their outline and everything.
Rawr.
It's great.
Coming at you.
Now, like the stop motion is shockingly good there.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, not for the time.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can tell that they were rushing it through, but they still wanted it to make it, really look good and whatnot. But I love it. It's because honestly, the quote unquote, bad stop motion actually adds a lot to the character.
Right.
Are those gloves?
Yeah, she's a weirdo. And you know what's funny about it? I mean, you would think with as strange as she is, that Lydia would like her because they are both kind of weird. Well, I mean, obviously.
He is the only one with like any sense of just like style at this point.
Right.
Like, just actually no, he doesn't. Like, who wears like the ugliest gray sweatshirt to dinner? Like
me. I'm wearing my RuPaul's Drag Race shirt right now.
Oh, right on. See, I honestly like. Can't I just settle with t-shirt and jeans? Like, seriously, because that shirt is just super ugly. But theirs is just like. I think even actually, I'm pretty sure that Lady Gaga would find their wardrobes a little broad.
Probably. They need to be wearing meat suits while they sit there and eat.
So they can think about what they're eating, make it super meta and crazy. Why didn't Tim Burton just straight up do that?
Who knows?
I don't know, because that sounds like something he would do.
I don't know if you know much about like 80s music. Do you know who Morrissey is from the Smiths?
Yes.
Okay. I went to a Morrissey concert not too long ago.
Right
and
on.
He had like PETA there with him. And apparently he did some kind of tweet. I love Morrissey's music, but he is kind of a gigantic douchebag. But I do love his music. But he like called some chef out on Twitter. If you're gonna make, meat sandwiches, why don't you go ahead and eat your children? Or something weird like that.
Jesus.
You should look it up. Look up Morrissey's tweet about meat and a chef.
Jesus.
I'm like, eating your children's kind of different than eating a cow.
Oh, yeah, I'll say.
A little bit.
I loved her trying to get her art through the window.
Mm-hmm.
God, like, and of course, okay, so this is another weird thing that I noticed about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We are 23 minutes in. This is the first mention of Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't show up until like almost halfway through the movie.
Right, really, he doesn't.
There's really not a whole lot of Beetlejuice in Beetlejuice.
And there should be more. Wall-to-wall Beetlejuice.
Honestly, I think that's why they really wanted a sequel and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Although we were blessed with a great animated TV series.
We were.
Yes.
La 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 la.
And of course, did you also see the musical?
I did not see the musical.
I haven't seen the musical. I feel like I really should have, though, because I can only imagine the amount of creativity that would go into something like that. Because movies like
if they want to bring it, though, they better bring it. You know what I mean?
No kidding.
But yes, the cartoon I watched, I loved.
You know what that statue reminds me of?
Face hugger.
Yes, it reminds me of like one of the xenomorphs from Alien. It feels like Tim Burton's sculptor crossbred with H.R. Giger. Yep. It's good. That's some good times right there. And of course it goes full on with it later on. I love Winona Ryder is just so young in this one, isn't she?
She's probably about 15, I'd say.
I believe that's what she was. I mean, because she was She's only been in a couple films previous to this.
She was in Lucas.
Yes, that was, I believe, the movie that everyone saw and like, that's our lead. But yeah, I think this is the movie that really cemented her going through. You know, before she kind of was outed as a shoplifter on a number of occasions. Yeah,
she just couldn't help herself.
I mean, whatever. Either way, it's like it's kind of amazing. Like around, you know, 2009, 2010, like all of a sudden she just like comes back into the limelight, and you're like, oh, hey, where you been?
Yeah, I don't know if you watched Drunk History ever, but it's hilarious. She was in a couple episodes of Drunk History, and I thought it was funny. Yeah,
I remember that. But you know, between Stranger Things and, you know, cameoing as Spock's mom in Star Trek,
I didn't.
Yeah, that was totally her.
Which one?
The J.J. Abrams reboot. She plays Spock's mom.
I'm trying to think. Well, he's done 2.
Oh, there he is. First appearance of Beetlejuice, doing a really, really funny parody of all those sleazy late night car dealerships.
Right. Oh, this is what I think.
Oh, Michael Keaton. He's having so much fun.
He is.
Even with all that makeup, you could tell like he's just having the time of his life. Although I don't know if he's like actually wearing I think he's actually wearing a fat suit.
Sure he is.
He has to.
Oh yeah.
Because like literally a year later,
I'll eat anything you want me to eat. I'll swallow anything you want me to swallow. So come on down. I'll chew on the dog. Ow! Sorry.
Oh my God.
Help it.
His performance is so great.
It is great. It's great.
Honestly, like I think that's what adds a huge amount of the charm to the movie.
It does, and like I said, it is completely different than any other character he's ever done. Like, it is completely different. If you didn't know it was him, you wouldn't know it's him.
Yeah, I mean, because and it's not just the makeup either.
No, it's the acting. It's
because he even goes crazy with the voice
he
like
does
this.
Go crazy with
Although
the voice.
he does drop his like real voice for like just a second.
Oh, I studied in Juilliard.
That's right, and it's hilarious.
And I've seen The Exorcist. What is it, 300 times?
137 times.
And it keeps getting better every single time I see it.
Now what do you think? No, don't trust the Beetle guy. Do not trust him. He is literally. He really is like a sleazy car salesman.
He really is.
He's an exorcist for hire, which is actually a dead poltergeist, sleazy exorcist for hire is actually kind of a great premise. Honestly, I think that's why Tim Burton just chose this, because I know he got quite a few stuff. Because he was I believe even when he was filming this, and even before the script was finalized, he was still working on Batman.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was they were really gearing up big time for Batman, and then they eventually released it a full year right after this. But I love the green lighting.
I love how bold all of the colors.
Yes,
it'll be very muted. Blacks, whites, grays, and then pops of color.
Yeah,
and even Pee-wee's Big Adventures like that. I actually wrote a paper on it when I was in.
Yeah, because again, they pull this very Norman Rockwell, Grant Wood kind of palette that really does feel like a painting when you look at it, and with spots of color here and there. But when you get into the the creepy undead Tim Burton woohoo stuff,
right?
They just. It's like they took all the LSD with the German Expressionism Museum of Art, Like they just went nuts with it.
It's sad this dude's a perv.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I had to bring it back up. But...
Literally right here, it's just like,
Is that what he does when he watches kids?
Like, dude, I was bird watching. I was clearly bird watching.
Sure you were.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
that's... See, that visual is just so much more uncomfortable now.
I know. Thinking about him as, Ed Rooney on Ferris Bueller's Day Off and all that.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The principal.
See, I still love that movie to death, but it's just when he's creeping around like that, it's just...
And Jennifer Grey kicks him in the forehead. That is my favorite part. My favorite part when he comes around the corner and she's like... in the forehead.
And runs all the way up the stairs.
She's like,
gets all the way upstairs before he can hit the ground fully.
I know, and she's like, I've got a scorching case of herpes.
Oh my gosh, I love this. All of this is just so much fun. Like all the little details and everything.
And how, like,
the shrunken head,
yeah.
and how you can clearly see how each of these guys died.
Right, the old chicken bone, and
getting the magician's assistant getting cut in half, a guy getting eaten by a shark, and
but look at them; they don't look like they've drowned.
no, and the numbers have just gotten so long. Have there been who's been served in like the last millennia?
Yeah, that's what's so funny about it. Like at the end, when Beetlejuice is there, and he's like got number like
billions,
and then the witch doctor has like number 2 or whatever, or whatever. He's like the next one up or whatever, and he's all like, "Well, it looks like I'm next." Got
a photo shoot with GQ.
Got a GQ. Yeah. Well, good thing too.
Yeah, this is another great place where they get really creative with like how the afterlife is formatted. Like it's like the most amazing or the most visually interesting and creative DMV you've ever been at. Only it's twice as inefficient and boring. Yeah.
Look at that. He's
the shark. You know, someone didn't hand him down the bat shark repellent.
No, they did not.
It really feels like it's that same prop, doesn't it? Oh, wow,
That
yes.
is so cute.
Yes. She's so baby-faced. Even in her little, like, uber goth costume.
Sure.
Like,
she's the original goth chick right there.
No. You shut your face. I'm pretty sure Morticia.
I was going to say Morticia or Lily Munster.
Well, yeah, or if you really want to go back, like, not Elvira, Vampira.
Vampira. I love Elvira, though.
Yes, Elvira. Even though she kind of really is a ripoff of Vampira. Like, let's be honest, she kind of is.
But she loves horror movies.
Yeah.
Cassandra Peterson or Cassandra. Cassandra. Fun fact, you do know that she is in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right?
Yes.
She's like, I say let me have it
That's
first.
right.
She's actually really good friends with Paul Rubens.
I can see that.
And they were also, yeah, I love that. I wonder how he got there. I just love how,
that looks like early Groot cameo.
Right?
It looks like Groot.
What cracks me up is how they're just sitting there and they're not even like phased by it. I mean, they are, but they aren't. You know what I mean?
That guy's just, the way his stare is just perfect. These puppets are just great.
You mean that's not a real person?
No. Shut up. Well, honestly, I think even if it is like really low budget and quote bad, the excessive creativity makes up for it. Because
I wonder how he died.
The tire treads and everything.
Smashed. I mean, he got smashed.
Yep. He got run over.
He got smashed and not in a fun way.
He got. Is that like the new thing for people to say? I'm like, smash me or step on me.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, smashed has changed what it means.
Okay.
So, yeah, no. When I think of smashed, I think of drunk.
You know what this guy now makes me think of? Like being hung from strings and pulled along by in parallel. It makes me think of Brazil. Where they had the detainees in these giant body suits. Where they would rip open the mask and just have them hanging. It feels very much like Brazil. It feels like Brazil in that aspect. Have you ever seen Brazil?
No.
Oh, dude, you need to see it. It's it's Terry Gilliam doing 1984, but with way more wide-angle lens and an obnoxious amount of ceiling pipes. Yeah, it's great. Oh my god. Oh wait. No. I was about to say it. I'm like, if that's Abe Vigoda.
I thought it was.
I thought it was. Like, at this point, Abe Vigoda, I assure you, was not dead.
Right.
He is not.
I love on.
It's Abe Vigoda today.
And I'm sure you've seen Good Burger.
Oh.
Okay, so he's like, I'm not dead. He's talking about I'm not dead.
Did you know there was actually a website that says isabevigodadead.com? And of course, for years it stayed the same since like the 90s.
Wow.
And when he finally passed away, I believe it was like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I mean, he lived forever.
They finally said yes,
oh,
and
boom.
they put X's on his eyes.
Oh.
And
He probably, honestly, he would think that's funny.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
I mean, people thought he was dead for like 20 years.
Oh yeah,
so, like,
it's one of like the under circuit Hollywood inner jokes.
Right.
But yeah, that's Abe Vigoda now.
Right.
He would be doing something like this. Oh, of course. The what do you call him? The Juno, the caseworker. That's right. It's been a while since
I'd forgotten her name too.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen this movie.
I probably saw it about 2 or 3 years ago. But one of those things where it's like kind of playing in the background. You know what I mean? Where you're not like really paying attention to it. Only certain parts.
It's one of your comfort movies.
It is one of my comfort movies. I have many that I go to sleep to at night.
Yes,
So,
we all do.
Yeah, we do.
And if there's any you would love to back home listening would love us to do, just please give us recommendations. We need more, and we need more listeners. So spread the word. Anyway, back to the movie.
Shameless plug.
Yes, this is where we get the big exposition dump, where we just like all the rules and all the idiosyncrasies of what limbo and what being dead really is, and how to live with haunted houses and whatnot. And yeah, this is also just where the ideas go crazy, because I know the original script went nuts with this kind of stuff.
Right.
And plus it was supposed to be a lot more graphic and brutal.
Really?
Like the drowning, like when the car goes over.
It was supposed to like show
it was
them,
supposed to be super graphic and everything.
We didn't need to see all that.
No, I mean it was a lot darker and it was a lot less funny. But that was mostly Michael McDowell's kind of take on it, and it wasn't until Warren Saccharin, when he came in, he's the one who brought the jokes in. He was the one who made it, kind of funny and macabre and silly and crazy.
That's crazy.
And speaking of which, I love the smoke coming out of her mouth.
See, I love the attention to detail.
Yes,
on
this. the tiny little details, and oh my god, that lighting! Oh my god, see, this would actually be kind of fun to watch in black and white. It would be.
I've never thought about that.
I mean, because you're right, the colors add so much of the characters to it, but because, this is obviously based in German Expressionism, it'd be interesting to, see this like almost like a silent movie, in total black and white, or do like, blue or yellow or red shades for different scenes and whatnot. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Good old dissolve. Really is what it was. Some kind of
Well, I just love how it mixes with the smoke,
with the
and everything.
And it goes zoop.
But it's just really, it's really fun to like imagine this in sort of a black and white. Maybe if you know what, folks, if you can turn your the color down on your TV or whatever. Let us know how that looks, because I do.
It's going to tempt him with the Zagnut here, isn't it? Is this where he gets the Zagnut out?
I don't. Oh, yep, this is it.
Here we go. Hungry?
Yeah, I really love the.
There you go.
The Zagnut.
And that fly's like, oh yeah.
And come here, Beetlejuice needs to eat.
Yeah, he does. Beetlejuice.
That's a great little headstone. Really love it. Although, do you know what Beetlejuice is named after?
No, I was going to ask if you knew about any of that.
Actually, he's named after one of the stars in the constellation of Orion.
Really?
There's a star called Beetlejuice, and it's spelled like it's not spelled like beetle and juice.
It's spelled like Beetlejuice.
Yes. Although of course they just changed that so it's a little bit more marketable and
right.
It just sounds funnier.
Right.
But no, there's actually a star. It's a red star in the constellation of Orion that they for some reason just decided like I'm gonna go with that.
Maybe that's why he used lots of red in this film.
Possibly.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows? But that's where it comes. Although, You know what was one of the other titles for this movie?
What?
I believe it was House Ghosts, because
they are house ghosts.
Yeah, it is. I think that was what Tim Burton wanted originally, although the studio didn't like it, and then eventually just made the joke. Well, how about we just called Scared Sheetless?
That's kind of funny.
It is, but he pitched that as a joke, and he was actually genuinely horrified when the executive producers were like, "Hey, that is a good idea. Let's do that." And he's like, "No, I was just joking."
Joke.
And speaking of sheets,
they're like, "Woo!"
I actually really just love how they can't be taken seriously.
No matter what they do.
This is what we're being reduced to? Sheets? Well, yeah, you guys have no budget.
I like how she's watching big time wrestling too.
Oh, is she now?
Did you notice that?
I did not.
It was wrestling.
Weird,
Very
man.
weird.
Another what? I guess maybe that's because, well, obviously there's not much of a thing going on between her and Jeffrey Jones' character.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just the way she gets off at night.
Could be. Who knows? She's like, Winona Ryder's like, shut up.
Come on, let me sleep and just bask in my teenage sadness.
Watch.
You're right. They are watching wrestling. That's so weird.
She's like, oh. She turns it down. Moan louder.
The bad makeup. Is that how you look every morning?
Oh no, I wash my face before I go to sleep. But if I've been out and I'm just so tired, yeah, pretty much it's like smeared,
smeared all over and great. Oh, I love it. Just the
perverts. She discovers there's no feet.
She's doing this weird. She's paparazziing before
she is.
That's weird. That's crazy. Like. Winona, this is going to come back to haunt you in a big bad way.
Right.
But that's actually a really cool way how she
discovers that it's real deal.
Yep.
You like blood and guts under there?
Yeah. It's like,
we're ghosts.
You guys are really dead? That's awesome. Actually, teenagers would be like that. Just like, you're dead? Awesome. Can I join you?
I don't know. I might have been scared shitless. Who knows? I might have been scared sheetless. Well, who knows?
That's never going to come back. No, well, to be fair, like a teenager dressed like that.
She would love it.
Oh, she would be way into it. Like, I'm pretty sure there's such a thing as like a ghost fetish.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be.
I'm sure there is.
And her character definitely seems like the one to... Well, I mean, she basically becomes like half ghost by the end of the movie.
She does.
So, I guess like, is it gonna like? Wait, so did this movie like eventually evolve into Danny Phantom?
Could have.
Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm seeing a lot of Sam from Danny Phantom in her character. Like it's wow. Wow, that's crazy. This actually Beetlejuice Danny Phantom crossover would be a really fun thing.
Look,
that would be a really cool. Oh, and yeah, they're just showing off the model and everything.
The model.
And we just want to scare you out.
I'm digging her crazy bangs, but there are people who still cut their hair like that, which is so weird to me.
Oh, it's also just like how deliberately uneven they are. Also, I really love how they constantly light her to make it look like she's wearing eyeliner when she's really not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just her face, you know.
It's
I don't know.
scary outside. Do you hear that wind outside?
No.
I did. It was like woo.
It is spooky season, so.
Is. But yeah, they deliberately don't have her eyes lit. Like the way the lighting is, it's not really hitting her eyeballs.
Yeah, they always and plus I think it's they just went super crazy with her eyelashes. So they cast these great big shadows and so she looks like she's wearing eyeliner, but she's not.
She is not.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they left the big city to come to the country, and then they've got this weird machine.
Okay, that machine does not look like it exists in real. That looks like it was a Tim Burton creation.
I'm certain
that
it was.
Has to
I don't
be.
even know what it was doing. It was just digging up the ground.
I'm pretty sure it was trying out for the part of Edward Scissorhands.
Probably. Probably.
Because Edward Scissorhands was, like, what was it, 93, 94? I think it was, well, I know it was early 90s. It was after Batman, but before Batman Returns.
I know that Anthony Michael Hall was a gigantic douchebag in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes.
And I met him at the first Horror Hound weekend I went to.
Oh, you did? That's awesome.
Yeah, and in fact, I actually ended up, like, stumbling into Horror Hound for free because I went through the back door not realizing that's... Because it was, like, one of the first ones they put on, and it was like Coco Keys.
Yeah.
So, and Anthony Michael Hall was just standing there.
Wow.
I know, and I'm like, hi!
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Got a picture with him and everything.
That's sweet. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. The light. Don't go towards the light.
Come to the light, Caroline.
See, this is...
This house is clean.
That's really good. Oh, wow. You've seen Poltergeist a lot, haven't you?
I have.
That's another really great one. This is a great transition. The set. I love this set so much, and how it just encapsulates the... it feels like almost like a weird leftover of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Where they make these... Look at that crazy headstone. Oh my god, what I would give to have like a replica of that. Like,
or the real one.
The real one I would sell so I don't have to have a job anymore.
Right, I gotcha.
But man, like building a replica, that'd be really fun, you know? Just like a couple of shovels and everything. But I really do love how it's one of those old, like, Vegas neon lights.
Right. Very seedy, very, like, you know.
Even the grass.
Yep.
I love the grass. And I also love how the grass is cork.
Uh-huh.
That's just a wonderful touch. And the cardboard.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love the attention and texture of detail. Look, even the giant cardboard over the grass and everything. And it's just, like, bad stone. You can tell these guys just had a blast.
And that's why the set designer is the bomb.
Yeah, no kidding. It really is killing me. Like, I can't remember, like, all the other stuff that he's done. I'll have to... I'm going to look him up in just a bit, because here... Okay, so we are now at exactly 47 minutes.
And no, this is the first time we've seen... Well, we saw Beetlejuice in the commercial earlier.
Yeah, and we saw his hand and whatnot, but this is the first full-blown entrance and introduction. And it's glorious.
It is.
But yeah, dude, it's crazy. They actually wait literally just about halfway through the movie to bring in the title character. And when he does show up, he does not... He really is like the perverted horror version of Robin Williams, the genie.
Yep.
Yeah. He just bursts out of the scene and steals the show for every frame that he's in. I even like the Looney Tunes yoink when the rat.
Yeah, like, it's definitely the most over-the-top character that he's ever done.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just the way he's looking around.
He's got the energy of like a Tex Avery cartoon character.
I wonder if he was on coke. Or do you think he's ever used drugs?
It was the 80s, so
he might have been.
It's anyone's guess, but honestly, I think this is all Keaton.
That's awesome.
Keaton, let's not forget that Keaton just blew everyone away with like the comeback of like the last 50 years with Birdman,
which I have not seen yet, but I have heard amazing things about.
Where he drops his voice and then he just works his way back into it.
It's getting funnier every time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy.
And then, of course, this is probably one of my favorite moments where he's like, "Oh, am I scary?"
And we never get to see what it looks like.
But
I like him.
This.
Yep. I imagine it looking a lot like Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
See, oh yeah, that was some freaky shit. That was some freaky shit.
Pee-wee's like, ah!
Well, actually, apparently there was like a face effect for that, but they just thought, you know what? It's funnier when you don't see it,
Right.
and they just decided not to use it. And of course, he steals the wardrobe.
Yeah.
I really love that he clearly is wearing a fat suit
Yeah.
to make him just that much sleazier and more
Right.
like disgusting. And even like, you know what? That's another thing that was a little bit ahead of its time, and of course, it's really ironic that he wound up playing Batman. It was the fact that his like look kind of makes you think of Heath Ledger's Joker.
A little bit.
Like he's got.
And that looks so realistic.
Oh, it looks so dumb, and I love it. But but yeah, with the white makeup, the greasy kind of skin, and crazy green hair, and the dark eyeliner, and plus he's even kind of got like the things on the sides of his mouth, like everything.
I like how he's like,
Yeah, and of course.
hey, where'd you go? Hey!
Hey! And of course, there's this wonderful big moment where he just like,
you bunch of losers!
yeah, you're not real professional there, Mike. And then of course there's this that always gets cut out. F-bomb! Yeah! It's funny though. It's really funny.
It's so funny.
But yeah, man, that's the remember kids, this is when PG meant something.
It did.
Like or when Spaceballs, when you know, they probably say one of my favorite lines of all time. Fuck! Even in the future nothing works.
Right?
And it still doesn't. Oh, here we
here
go.
comes.
Here we go. Like the big scene.
Oh man.
The big dinner scene. This is actually probably the reason why I probably will never have shrimp in the middle of October. I do love me a really good shrimp cocktail or whatnot, but in October, especially with these cats, I'm gonna pass.
Not gonna do it.
Especially if you start hearing Harry Belafonte.
Exactly.
Yeah, but can you believe that Tim Burton actually was not very confident in this scene?
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I don't know, this is kind of dumb. It's a little stupid. Maybe we should just cut it out. But when he saw like the strong test results on the audiences,
people probably lost their shit. I still lose my shit when I see it. It's
great.
Hilarious.
Now it's just amazing. And oh, that poor woman. She's trying so hard to keep her together.
She wants to make everything look. I saw some ghosts.
For some reason, I think because again, this carries over a lot with Tim Burton's other like characters. Like, you know, obviously he identifies as Winona Ryder's character. Obviously, oh, you didn't know, but I have a glaring suspicion that his mother growing up was one of those, you know, very traditional. Keeping up with the Joneses kind of things.
Could be.
Because, you know, a lot of that does come back for Edward Scissorhands. So I feel like that's like a really recurring thing. Because Tim Burton has a real affinity for weirdos and freaks like me.
Right.
You know? Like, that's his real thing.
I would rather talk about...
Oh, boy.
Deo.
No, not quite yet. Yeah! Oh, there it is.
Deo.
Oh, her performance is so
come
great.
and me won't go home. Cute. Yeah. Yeah.
That little, it honestly feels like it's a burp. It's great. I love that. Like the song is just bursting out of her from within. It's great. It's time to say grace.
Oh,
And
no,
now,
you're doing
whoop.
this.
Oh no, we're not. We're gonna dance. Oh my god, I love those tacky napkins.
Uh-huh.
So ridiculously over. Really, it seems like all of his sets, they honestly feel like museums rather than homes. With the bongo drum. Love it. Love it. Oh, swing that sweet butt. Oh yeah.
8-foot
Bunch!
Daylight come and me won't go home.
This is great. And they're all just so horrified that they're
I
gonna
know.
keep going with it. And Winona Ryder's just cracking up. And I see. I don't. She really gives you the sense that. Are we gonna go through with this, and we're just gonna let this happen, or are we just gonna continue to be horrified?
Just
like
go
it's
with
always,
it.
it's always like 1 foot in both ends, and it's kind of glorious. Tushies, love it. And then of course,
tarantula.
Yes, I did deadly black tarantula. And then of course the final coda, this nightmare fuel. Which still scared the crap out of me. It still kind of makes me a little scared.
It is a little creepy.
Yep, but I just really, and you just love how it's just like a whole bunch of stagehands grabbing the actor's face.
It's still
great
funny.
stuff. No one ever does effects like this anymore. It's because honestly, like those in-camera like puppet shot, they're so much more fun. Not just for like the makers, but also for the audience.
Right.
Because it's visceral.
Right.
You can tell that there's really no cheating involved.
If you notice, she got Tim Burton hair too.
She does. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure.
Or he has Lydia Dietz hair.
I was gonna say that's early Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, she is a fine piece of work, isn't she?
She's interesting.
Yeah. Oh man,
she killed Sirius Black.
True. Very true.
Man.
Yeah.
When she's taunting Harry Potter, I killed Sirius Black.
She is great as
Bellatrix.
Man. It almost makes me want her to come back for a film adaptation of Cursed Child. Almost.
You think they're going to do that?
Probably, because let's face it, Fantastic Beasts is...
I didn't watch the second.
I didn't watch either. I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Like, for me...
The first one wasn't bad.
Honestly, like... The first books ended. Okay, don't need any more.
So let it go.
That's it.
Yep. Things can end.
Yeah, the movies were done. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Don't need any more. But no, this stupid fan base is just like, give us more, give us more, give us more, give us more. We need our fix. Like, and J.K. Rowling just doesn't know how to say no.
Yeah, and she should.
Yeah.
It's okay for a story to end. Come up with some new ideas for something else.
Or just retire and just like
live off
and fuck off to an island.
Right. Oh man.
She has the money. She can do that.
Yeah.
I'd be happy if she does. Like,
sure.
good for you, because like I
know her backstory. I know what she went through and everything, and that she was broke as fuck, and wrote the story on napkins and shit like that, and people turned it down at first.
Yep. So
I don't take it every dime and.
Don't need any more Harry Potter in my life, man. It ended. I can enjoy it now, like every once in a while, and revisit it. But beyond that, don't need anything.
Things can end.
Yep. Instead, they're getting all this retcon stuff, and that's messing around with the mythology, and things are going this way and that way to be politically correct. Fuck Harry Potter. Let's go back to Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is so much more interesting and fun.
Yes. There would be no Harry Potter without Beetlejuice. Could be. You never know. You never know. Beetlejuice could have influenced all kinds of people. We don't know.
Well, it certainly was influential, because Tim Burton is just a vast pool of inspiration. And actually, upon retrospect, I'm kind of amazed that I feel like he's so original in his visual style and his quirks and whatnot that no one's dared try to mimic him.
That's true. Nobody does. It is what
I've seen people try to mimic, I've seen mimickers of Tarantino. I've seen mimickers of Scorsese and Kubrick and whatnot. Haven't seen any mimickers of Tim Burton, which...
they'd be like, you are a cheap Tim Burton imitation.
I don't know anyone out there that I can willfully, point to. So I guess you could say that Tim Burton's style is just so original. You really can't say that compare him to anyone else. He is his own entity. He is Hot Topic.
He is. He probably freaking owns it.
He might as well at this point, because I do know that Kevin Smith, because he like a couple of days ago, he literally got his what was it? The footstep ceremony and the cement for the Chinese Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Okay.
That sort of thing. And he actually also literally around the same time I saw it on his Instagram that he got a Hot Topic award. It was like one of the first ever, and I'm like, you gave Kevin Smith a Hot Topic award before Tim Burton. Tim Burton like practically owns 99% of your stock,
right?
So fuck that, give it to him.
Exactly.
Because look at this shit, man. This is clearly all for Hot Topic. This really is great for Spooktober. Like watching it for Halloween, like hell yeah, man. Oh yeah, and of course now that the ghosts are finally getting
the recognition or whatever,
we've got to bring in a poltergeist and get them out,
right?
Because obviously we live here now. Oh, you know what? Just hit me right now. What if there were ghosts that were Native Americans? And they same rules apply. Oh shit, this is great. The snake. That's some crazy nightmare fuel, and I love it. Looking up her dress and everything. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, this is great. Oh shit.
See, you know what though? They deserve this.
Yeah,
they're
they kind of do.
assholes.
They really kind of do. It's fucking white people, man. See, that's why I thought this movie would have had a little bit of an extra bit of commentary if, Barbara and Adam were like Native American or something like that. Like it really would have been like, no, white people are actually intruding on your land, and you should get the fuck out, or we're gonna do some crazy ass nightmare fuel shit to you. Oh, this is so creepy.
He's gonna creep up on Lydia.
Dude, that puppet is so awesome.
He's like, son of a bitch.
Yes.
Zoop. he just went right back. Boop. Leave me alone, all of you.
Run away. Fucking teenagers. But no. But yeah,
did we miss the part where she was writing her suicide note? Were we talking over that?
I think she was.
Where she's talking about plummeting off the bridge.
She does do a lot of that. Like,
I
they're just constantly like, discouraging her. Like, no, you really don't want to be doing that. Because apparently, also in this universe, if you commit suicide, you actually have to work as like a secretary. Like you are quite literally a slave.
Right,
to it.
right.
So,
like the green lady that was there, yeah.
I also believe Juno was supposed to be supposedly hanged herself back in like
well, she
the
had
40s.
her throat was slit, so.
Well, it might. Oh, maybe it was slit. I forget. I know she did commit.
Smoke was coming out of it.
I do know she committed suicide. So that's why she's a contractor and that sort of thing, because she's now.
Make my millennium.
The crazy ass spikes in them. God.
She's like, Adam, why did you build that? He sees the whorehouse. Or the dance hall or whatever it's supposed to be. The girls.
See, you would think that was just like something that Beetlejuice just made. Oh, there it is.
It's not that Juno did it to lure him away.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's Dante's Inferno.
Oh, that's great. God.
Watch him, yeah. Here I come, baby.
See, it's crazy. Like, you would actually think that he could have gotten the role of the Joker instead of Batman.
Right?
Because he's got the energy for it, like, clearly in this movie. But I guess, you know what? He just wanted to go the opposite direction.
Right? More serious.
Yes, more downplayed. Where these football players are hilarious. Just
They're
because
like, Coach.
They just have no idea what's going on.
They're
just so baby right now.
They are.
Mm-hmm. And you almost kind of feel sorry for them because you can also tell that they probably weren't the smartest group during the life.
Coach, I think we're dead. And one of them says,
just like seriously, seriously, what was your first tip? I'm trying to think where I've seen this actress before, because she looks really, really familiar. I don't know.
Look, there it is. Coach, where's your room?
Dude, Seriously?
I'm not your coach. He survived.
Yeah, I can't really remember if I've seen that actress in anything else, because because I know she was an actress back in the 40s, but I don't know if I've seen her in anything else besides this. Oh, did you see in the background the skeletons hanging about?
Oh, I didn't see that.
There was actually one of them, ironically, was a red skeleton.
Ooh.
And if you are a Tim Burton fan, you'll know that red skeletons come back. Mars Attacks.
Gosh, it's been forever since I've seen
Oh
that.
my God,
yeah.
Mars Attacks is so amazing. It's so amazing and stupid and corny. And I love how unintentionally close the plot is to Independence Day, which came out around the same time.
Oh, yeah?
Which, by the way, that movie is aged so horribly.
I haven't seen that in forever either. My mom loves that movie.
It's a dumb, fun, guilty pleasure of mine.
Right.
As with most of Roland Emmerich's movies, his movies are just so stupid and implausible, but they're just so damn entertaining. I don't care. I also really love the framing of this. Like,
it's like they have this weird ass patio with a wall that goes nowhere. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so weird.
That's just like you can.
There she is writing her suicide
there
note.
It is.
Okay,
yep.
I'm like, I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because I know this is like this is another thing.
Utterly alone.
Teen angst. This is why I think the movie became so popular, because just so much teen angst.
Yes.
And it's not just the angst like we've seen it before in other movies. It's just the level of over the top and also kind of weirdly funny.
Right.
How it is.
Right. Having plummeted. She changed it to plummeted.
Well, I mean, of course, you got to be eloquent.
Right?
See, I think that's a George Carlin joke where, like, a writer probably could never commit suicide because he'd spend too much time writing
on it, yeah.
And then it winds up becoming his suicide note becomes a bestseller and gives him a reason to live.
Right.
But yeah, it's look in the background, like it's like right behind Adam and Barbara. If you look real closely, I swear they're gonna cut back to it. There's like 3 spooky skeletons. Literally, clearly, you can see that they're just, some bodysuits painted. But this was nuts.
I do my face like that in the mirror all the time, and I put my fingers on my eyeballs on my fingers.
That's some All Real Monsters stuff.
Right?
Yeah, not too bad. Although hers was particularly freaky.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Eyeballs in the
tongue. Just knock it back and oh God.
Ugh.
See, it's funny now, but even as a
kid, you're like, oh God,
Jesus Christ,
right,
change the channel.
And of course, the woman's got to have the big mouth, right? I'm just saying. I'm pointing it out.
And of course, the man has to have like
a
the huge
phallic nose. See, that's how I look at it. I guess I'm dirty.
I do really love that touch where he has to like hold up his fingers and to his glasses in order to see her.
I don't think we survived the crash, Coach.
No, really?
I wanted to die so I could be with you guys.
Yeah, it's so much cooler being a ghost.
With my crunchy Tim Burton hair.
And my just on-the-nose veil of sadness. I'm literally dressed for my funeral.
I like where he's trying to get her to say Beetlejuice.
Yes.
And she's like, no, I want to talk to Barbara. And he's like, no, you don't want to talk to Barbara. And then, obviously they stop her.
Yeah, although
now,
I'm just glad that they really underplayed the creep factor between Beetlejuice and
yeah, they didn't make him flat out creepy.
Oh no, they were going to though.
Yeah,
like they were actually explicitly going to be like, no, this guy demon thing wants to explicitly have sex with this.
I've seen fan art of Beetlejuice and Lydia.
Ugh,
I'm like, why?
Like,
people sharing it. I'm part of a horror thing on Facebook, and it's just like gross. I mean, I think she's supposed to be like 13 or something. She's supposed to be really young.
Oh, I believe in the original script she was like 9 or 10. And then this one, because like they got the actress and they're like, she's gonna be like 14, 15, whatever. They never really explicitly say, but that's what we're going with. But even so, it's just like, ew. And but now you mentioned that the internet's got art of that, fan art of that. Oh, the internet's such trash.
Internet is trash. It's gross.
It's like, come on, guys. Like, don't you have anything better to post on DeviantArt?
Right.
Actually, I don't know what's worse, like something like that, or like the Sonic the Hedgehog fan art shit. Or
yeah, they're weird.
I've talked to an ex-furry friend of mine, and like I've seen some of the old stuff, and even he was like, "Nah, I'm out."
Right.
Oh, of course the hints. Breakfast, they like
Beetle breakfast.
I really do love the charades.
Fruit.
They're literally playing charades for this sort of thing. Come on, you almost got it.
Beetlejuice.
That's it. Say it again. Say it one more. Don't say it one more time. It's such a bad thing.
I want to talk to Barbara.
Actually, I really do love how like he's constantly keeping him on edge there. Nah. I'm gonna be a fucking tease.
No, I want to talk to Barbara.
Just say it. Damn it. I'm gonna be a fucking tease.
She's a woman. See, now I can't say stuff like that. Now, I can say stuff like it. You can't say stuff like that.
Yes, that is very fair because I have no right to because I have a dick.
You and your phallic piece.
Phallic symbol. Phallic symbol.
Phallic symbol. Phallic symbol.
Oh man, that must be a weird way to make out.
Yeah.
With like that. I mean, it would honestly turn into, well, it would look like something else entirely.
I don't know.
Except the roles would be reversed. Right? If you catch my drift.
That'd be so weird.
It's like, oh shit. I'm like, oh dude, sorry. That was totally meant for someone else.
See, and here's the thing. Is there a time period between saying Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice? Like, if you say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, and then say Beetlejuice, like, the next day, does that count as 3?
I don't know.
An hour? Half hour? Does it time out?
Movie rules, logic. These things usually have grounds. In this case, it does not.
Because I don't know. Like, what if you say it a year later? What if you don't say the third Beetlejuice for a whole year, and then you say it?
My guess is it has to be like in continuum.
Okay.
He's having such a hard time putting his face back together.
Do you want to know what's funny about it?
What's that?
It's almost like when you God, what's it called? When you get jinxed and somebody has to say your name 3 times.
Yes.
So I just think that's funny that's how they get Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well, also, isn't there like a secret knock that they have to do? 1, 2, 3. 3 hit comes back every once in a while, doesn't it? But oh no! Don't unplug the model. No.
What a bunch of assholes! Like they should understand what art is anyway. You know what I mean? And then there they are dragging his shit all around.
Mm-hmm. See, you would think that these people. Well, remember, you'd think these people know art, but you're talking to the avant-garde, porch to nowhere people.
They are pieces of shit.
I mean, they're such sleazebags, but
yeah, they are.
Although I will give them this, that at least the movie allows them to be endearing sleazebags,
Right.
Why do we have to be talking about how these people are sleazebags and Jeffrey Jones is the center? Right. Why does he come back? Stop making this awkward, Jeffrey Jones. We're trying to like you here.
I would say that he's going to creep up on her, but he's not because he likes boys. And I wonder if there was any hint of it. And then you hear about the whole Hollywood pedophile ring shit. It makes you wonder how many people know about. I don't even want to think about it. It's really fucked up, actually.
Yeah, I want to laugh with laughter, not actually be like.
Right. Yeah.
So okay, wait. I actually want to see the evolution of Catherine O'Hara's wardrobe,
right?
Because Winona Ryder's just just super goth. She is just all of the tackiness.
She is. She's like, let me find the tackiest piece of jewelry
and clothing, hats. I'm gonna make a hat out of gloves, and I'm gonna make it work.
Right.
Not. But okay, so yeah, it's weirdly downplayed here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's because it's his presentation and whatnot.
Right, so she doesn't want to outshine him with her awesomeness.
Yeah. Oh, they found the book.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
It's about to get cray up in here.
Yep. And of course,
Otho's a sleaze, man.
He kind of I wouldn't call him a sleaze. I call him an obnoxious flamboyant.
That too.
He's just he's a flamboyant snob.
He's a damn snob for sure.
He's one of those. Ugh, are you really going to wear that with that sort of thing?
The wedding.
Oh yes, of course.
The what?
This is where they bring in. See, this is the part that really kind of freaked me out.
It is freaky. How they fill out that clothes, like they show it like, you know, the clothes expanding and all of that, and then Barbara and Adam are normal, and then they start to deteriorate.
The deterioration
and
bit
the jaws are falling off, and
that always
toes curling up. It's creepy.
It is genuinely creepy, and the way they light it too. Oh, this is just great.
And of course, Lydia is forced to bring out the big guy.
Yep, because what else are they gonna do? I mean,
and it's really, think about how shitty this is. I want you to honestly think about this.
Okay.
Beetlejuice saves the day, and they get rid of him. I mean, he does come out and save the damn day, really.
True, but he also wants to, like, marry the underage girl.
Well, back when Beetlejuice died, she probably wouldn't have been underage.
Yes.
Right?
He's an asshole, though.
Right?
He's still an asshole.
He is an asshole.
Although I still really would have loved to see a proper sequel of this.
Right.
I mean, actually, you know what? Honestly, with the amount of sequels and remakes and revamps and whatnot, I honestly wouldn't be too shocked to see Winona Ryder and Beetlejuice, like, return to the big screen.
Right.
Like, Beetlejuice Returns. There's the movie right there.
Right.
That's literally all you have to say.
I think it should be Lydia married, and then somehow she has a goth child or something like that, and then Beetlejuice is reintroduced.
Yeah. And trying to opt for his revenge.
Right,
or something. Like that. In the most hilarious of ways. And obviously, we probably want a lot more of Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice.
Right.
Because, again, he's not in this movie very long.
And what's so awesome about it is since he is wearing makeup, you wouldn't even know that he's aged.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. And plus, Beetlejuice could get, older. You know what I mean? It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, we could just, like,
play... He could decompose more. You know what I mean?
Just play up that
right.
that thing, because, oh my god, they play it up here. That is so unsettling. Oh, well, it's also just the sheer contrast of, her and and Adam, you know?
Right.
Like, because when you see it like that, it's just like, oh.
And it's like, where are they going? Are they just disappearing forever?
Mm-hmm. Are they just going to crumble into dust?
Right.
Oh, it's so unsettling. I mean, because honestly, like, I'm pretty sure if you saw this in, like, regular lighting, if the lighting was flat, that makeup would actually look like, cheap dollar store Halloween.
It's all about the magic of the lighting, man.
Yeah, it's the green undertone. Let's make it look crazy, weird, and artsy.
Here he comes.
Yeah, and now he's in his classic costume.
He's the ghost with the most.
Yep, because as you know, like, Beetlejuice has, like, it's amazing how he has, like, a very little screen time. He has a lot of costume changes.
He does have a lot of costume changes.
He's got, like, the sleazeball cowboy outfit. Yeah. He's got, the
Adam outfit.
Yep, his trench coat and stuff. And then, of course, his famous striped suit is, I think that's his most iconic. And then, of course, his really awful bad moth-eaten tuxedo for the wedding, which I freaking love. I love how
I was only going to do it once.
I love how bad and velvety it is.
It's awesome.
Yep.
She didn't mean anything to me.
It's nothing. It was nothing. Yeah, he's kind of like. Have you ever watched Gravity Falls?
No.
Because there's a great character, Grunkle Stan, who's like a con man of the group, and honestly, I feel like his character would be. Beetlejuice would be Grunkle Stan in the afterlife. Because he's just that kind of a funny sleazeball manic character. But
here he comes.
This is great.
Attention, K-Bart shoppers.
This is such nightmare fuel. This is straight up one of Tim Burton's sketches. Let's be honest, right
Awesome.
here
Here we go.
with the carousel and everything.
Yep, and the big hammer hands.
Oh, and look, he's got bat ears.
He does.
Foreshadowing.
Yes, a little bit of foreshadowing here.
And of course, another thing, the carousel also returns in Batman Returns. Remember with the penguin umbrella with the little little carousel.
Yep.
Ah, that's great. What the hell is?
Big
oh
hammer
my
hands
God.
are gonna be like. Zoop.
Oh yeah, that's right. The hammer hands.
Hammer.
This is so.
Boom! Here it comes. They're so stupid. Look at them like, yay!
Boing!
Boink, right out the ceiling.
And Otho's just noping right out.
Yeah, he's gonna nope right out the.
Nope.
They're like,
Nope.
you're not going anywhere, fat boy. He puts him in velour. Or what does he put him in?
Oh, I forget.
He puts him in some kind of polyester.
That's right.
And he's like, no, God, no.
Ugh. Man, yeah. Now Adam Baldwin's going.
Eric Baldwin.
You know, he actually hates this movie.
Of course he does.
Well, I don't know if he just hates the movie himself. Not, we're gonna have some laughs. Gives him a kiss. I love that. That's great. 90% that was ad-libbed.
Here we go. Here he is.
Yep.
He's gonna put him in the polyester.
Oh yeah, that was great.
God. It's like
that's just torture to his character.
It looks a lot like the outfit that well, not really, but it reminds me of that outfit that Francis wore in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It does.
But I mean,
You're right.
It's not right on, but it's very similar.
It's evocative of that.
Uh-huh.
But oh yeah, but apparently Adam Baldwin he just really didn't care for his performance in this movie. But
probably because Michael Keaton stole the show.
I think because, you know, his performance is kind of downplayed and whatnot, and plus, you know, Adam Baldwin, well, he actually chose to do Boss Baby.
Right.
So can't really yeah, see, look, oh god, the jaw. It's both like just awful and hilarious at the same time. I love it. But yeah, when you see it lit flat like that, it doesn't look as like creepy and nightmare. Because anytime it was in the green light, when I saw this on TV, I couldn't look at it. I couldn't stand it. It was just too scary.
Too creepy for you.
It was far too macabre. And this was just it's the fingers that come to life and everything. It's just now it's just super fun. Like really, really fun. And look, I love
being forced to watch.
But also just like the bad green screen. It's so good. Love it. the vine monsters and everything. And of course
the chapel there.
Well, just
creepy officiant just comes down the wall.
How shitty it looks, you know? Like they just vamped up.
Don't say the B word. No.
They just vamped up the entire set with just German expressionism. Just all of the Dr. Caligari leftovers were thrown into this with 10 times more like comic book like crazy color, and just like sure, I'll take her.
I, Lydia Dietz of Sound Mind.
Oh yes, that's right. Hey, they actually foreshadowed that because they're like, throw your voice for your friends. That
yes,
sort of thing.
I love that man of mine.
That's great. Also, I really love the red wedding dress. Like, you ever heard the old phrase, "Get wet in red, better off dead"?
No, dang.
Yeah, that's like an old saying. I forget where it's from, but I do know like you get red and get wet in red, better off dead.
Huh.
That's like an actual saying, which is what
weird.
Yeah, which is why it'd be really great to just see someone totally defy things and be like, I'm gonna.
Oh, I've shot several red wedding.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right on.
Yep, I've shot at least 3.
Gotcha. That's cool.
And the one was a doctor. She was like, it was like her 3rd or 4th marriage. She's like, I'm wearing red.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Man, you get some weird, crazy clients, don't
I have
you?
some interesting clients.
Oh, no, the ring! Not the... Frodo, where's the ring? God, the amount of snakes this guy has.
And other things.
Other creepy, crittly crawlies. Okay, that was just straight out like Peter Pan shit right there.
Sparkle.
The sparkle effect. Like, it's so corny. I love it.
And what's he going to do in this little Matchbox car for real?
I have no idea. Like, is he just going to, like, stomp on his toe or something
I don't know what he's going to do, but...
Oh, yeah, the ring that he pulls, the finger that he pulls off the ring.
Right, she meant nothing.
That's great. Just, like, trying to stick... Oh, this should actually be... Oh.
I mean, really. And you know what I would have done if I was Lydia?
Oh, shit!
If I was Lydia, I would have been like, somebody say Beetlejuice.
Somebody.
Because of all the people there.
Right?
Say it 3 times.
Just anyone.
I'd be like, say Beetlejuice 3 times. But no, nobody did that.
Nope. It's okay. We got Shai Hulud to save the day.
Right?
Also, I really love how the creepy short minister is just kind of awkwardly standing there.
Hey, is it because he's short?
There he goes.
Is he creepy because he's short, or is he creepy because he's creepy?
Honestly, it's just like, because they obviously got a little person to do it. Like, it just feels like that.
Maybe
more...
Zelda Rubinstein in there. This house is clean.
And they purposefully dubbed over in that deep, like, male voice just to mess with it.
This house is clean.
And of course, now finally they're like, you know what?
We're gonna cohabitate.
Yep, it's all cool. We're gonna have some ghost mates, and it's gonna be cool. And of course, like, I love this. This is just so adorable.
I
like,
gotta be.
They become.
They're really her parents. Now,
they are. They're
her
more
parents
her
are garbage.
They're more her parents than they are. Like, it's kind of sad, but it's also really funny.
Right, and it's good that she has them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny to me that, well, I guess you can be smart in math and not smart in reading, because like Adam helps her with her math, but he couldn't read that was oh gosh,
an A.
What was it? He said it was disease, and it was disease.
Oh yeah, that's right. You would, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
you don't have.
Maybe he's just not that. He or you know what? I think it was just like the trauma of death that
Maybe
kind of
that's
threw
what
him.
it was.
Maybe, but I really do love her reward.
Right. She just wants to float
and dance to more Harry Belafonte.
Yes,
absolutely. And the other really famous song from this one, "Jump in the Line."
Rock your body on time, okay?
I believe you. Woo!
He likes it.
I love that little bit.
He likes it.
You know, that's the other thing. Like, because, you know, she's obviously an artist and whatnot. I bet she saw all that kooky, like, crazy.
She probably gave her
stuff
inspiration.
And like, exactly. I'm just like, I'm gonna make an entire gallery about that.
Right.
And then I love this, for literally like absolutely no reason, the football players come out.
You know what? I don't even remember that.
Oh,
but I'm sure it's there.
Oh wait, no, it's coming after this little coda, because they were like, you know what? We need to have one more scene of Beetlejuice, which I'm so glad they were like, yes, give us more, because there's not enough.
Whoa. Sorry, she's sitting there. It was okay touching her leg as long as her other part of her body.
I love that. That's just really
Don't know
great.
what her problem is. His face is great.
He's got such a cartoon. He made it because he's in so.
Look at his number.
9 billion. Now serving 3. Haven't they served anyone in the last millennium?
No,
Seriously?
Before. He's like, hey, is that Elvis?
The witch doctor. But like, he's wearing so much makeup that he really does have to do these crazy cartoony facial expressions in order to do it.
And then there's no time. Well, looks like I'm next. He doesn't
He's
even
such
like
an asshole.
There's no time between that at all. He just
none. And then of course, you know, we also get a really great implied we get a nice implied thing for what the shrunken head was. Wow! Stop it! And then just
amazing.
Keep it on the right side.
Yep, it's a good look for me. See, he's all right.
But we also now know how that shrunken head came to be, which is a great little coda. But look,
there they are. Yeah, I remember now.
No reason just to kind of have them there.
And why do they have to be transparent when Barbara and Adam aren't?
I don't know, but it's fun. It's super fun. Actually, I think what originally was supposed to be in the background were like a whole bunch of people that got drowned.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were now. Granted, they were supposed to be in the background and like the
old Greg.
Sort of like old Greg. No kidding. Like these this wet zombie thing that was covered in seaweed. They were actually supposed to have something like that in the background, but the only reason why they didn't is like, well, they have to be wet all the time, and that's going to be really uncomfortable on set. So they just went with the football players as extras in the background, which is...
And again, they didn't even have to be transparent.
No, they just...
Barbara and Adam aren't,
like,
so...
for absolutely no fucking reason. Just because, fuck you, it's awesome. We're just having the time of our life, and we're going to go with it. You're having a good time. I'm having a good time. We're all having... It's just a good time.
I would kill to be just on the set of a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
I don't even, like, not... working, just observing.
Unless it's Alice in Wonderland, in that case, you're just going to be seeing green screen. That's literally because, that's
okay. An early, like an 80s,
90s
yes,
Tim Burton.
Yeah,
the sets would be amazing.
I would have loved to have seen. I know it took forever to do Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I would have loved to. Now, actually, that probably would have been pretty boring to watch, though, because of all the little movements they had to make. I mean, I would like to observe for a day, but not necessarily be there every day.
I mean, I know they have tons of the original props and all the original characters and all the miniature sets and everything. Like, all that's on, you can find those on display, like, all over in different museums and collections and whatnot. I know they had, like, a big, what do you call it, auction giving away some of the originals. So they're out there. So
we need to find some movies that you have not seen, so that you can do a first time watching for you.
Oh, well, I mean, I usually.
Or I need to do a podcast and bring millennials on.
Well, see, I watch always watch one of these before I get started on these.
We need to get you one where you're like, oh shit, what's going on?
No, because honestly, just like, well, the other thing is we're watching on closed captions, and I want to actually hear the movie too. That's mostly the reason why. Because, I mean, I would love to watch it like with the sound and everything, but then again, like especially for like companies like Disney and Warner Brothers, I don't want them to be just coming down hard and like, fuck you, take it down or give us money.
Right.
Like, no, I want to make money.
Or they're like,
I don't have money.
Or they're like, don't take it down and you're going to give us money anyway, we're suing you.
Yeah, exactly.
We're making an example.
That's just so not worth the trouble.
Right, you're right.
You just need a clean recording for this.
You do.
But
1988.
Yeah, the 1 year before Batman, dude. The year before the Summer of the Bat, which was, it's crazy to think that it only one more year. Because, and another tie into Batman is the production design. As you know, Bo Welsh did it, but originally he wasn't attached to do it. Anton Furst was. And if you know Anton Furst, he is famous for doing Batman with Tim Burton. Because they're like, look, we can't do Beetlejuice together because I've got these other projects lined up. But he says, I'll meet you on Batman. And kudos to him, he won an Academy Award for that.
Wow.
I mean, because Anton Furst, like Gotham City and the look of Batman, still hands down probably the best looking Batman. You know,
I need to go back and watch all the old. I mean, I've seen every Batman.
Yeah,
I've seen them all. I think I've seen them. Well, let me think here. Hold on. I saw the Val Kilmer ones.
Yep.
I saw the Christian Bale.
The Schumacher era.
Yeah, I saw Christian Bale ones. I saw, I guess that would be it, right? But, well, besides Ben Affleck playing. I have seen them. I have seen those.
See, I'm actually a fan of Batfleck. I just hate the movies. He is good as Batman. I just don't like the script.
I did not see Justice League.
Don't.
But I did like Wonder Woman. I thought they did a damn good job with Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's the only good DC movie now.
DC movies, I mean, that rocked. That really rocked.
As far as DC movies go, Wonder Woman's all they've got. I can't wait for Wonder Woman 1984.
I almost feel like it needs to be like a standalone.
Oh yeah,
thing,
no.
Separate, just take it away.
Seriously, like I like the more that it distances itself from Batman v Superman, the better. Because That is seriously one of my all-time hated movies. And you can hear me rant about it for 3.5 hours with my friend Zach on one of the previous podcasts. You can hear all about that.
Link in the description.
My very, very strong feelings towards that particular movie. But anyway, we're going to be back next week with another Tim Burton classic, Nightmare Before Christmas. Everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite, especially this time of year.
Claus.
It's Sandy Claus.
It's not only a Halloween flick, but also a Christmas flick.
That's the real genius of it.
Talk amongst yourselves about that.
Yeah, that's the real genius of it. But we'll get back to you, all of you, on that next week on Comtrack, where you'll never have to watch a movie alone again. I've been Tim.
I've been Mandy.
So awkward, and I love you. And
that's all I have to say about that.
We'll see you all next week with another Tim Burton classic. Peace.